Most people think burnout is the price of success, but today's guest says that's outdated thinking. He's here to show why your health is your business strategy and what to do about it. Today's guest is Brian Parana, founder of the Call to Rise and a results driven health coach for high performing men who are ready to finally treat their body like the asset it is. He works with entrepreneurs, executives, and business professionals who've crushed it in their career, but hit a wall in energy, consistency, and confidence. Brian's mission is simple: to make high performance sustainable, to turn your body into your competitive advantage, and to prove that peak health isn't about punishment or perfection. It's about strategic daily wins. Brian, welcome to Attention is the Currency. So good to have you on the show today.
Yeah, Danielle, thanks so much for having me. That's just a wonderful intro and encapsulates a lot. So thank you for that.
It's all true. We've done the research. We know that Brian is the man in this space. So, but we want to get stuck in because obviously people want to know where the foundation lies. What made you realize health wasn't optional and it was the foundation?
Yeah, this goes back to some of the early days in my career. I've been doing this for 23 years or so. Back in 2002 is when I actually got into the YMCA and I started to fold towels and sweep. I was a maintenance person, but I got a free gym membership, and that's what really got me in the door. And then all of a sudden, the exercise guy is like, "Hey, you need to teach an exercise class." So I'm teaching my phenomenal abdominal Monday 5 o'clock p.m. class, and all the people that were coming to class were business owners or business professionals, right? They get off work, they come work out, and then go and finish their day, right? And then that evolved into a degree, exercise nutrition, that then evolved into personal training. So again, who the type of person that ends up getting a personal trainer, someone that has business, right? They have created a lifestyle, they have opportunity to be able to hire someone on and help with their health. So I literally sat in a gym in one of the, say, the higher end clubs in the area, and the personal training department was booming. So I had a full schedule within 3 months. I went shifted from a fitness staff person to a personal trainer, and I'm working in front of business professionals all day long, and they're carrying 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds more, and they're trying to figure out what or how to do. So basically, from 2005, 2006, that became the beginnings of where what has led me to where I'm at now. And you'll see professionals that are working really hard, juggling all the things, usually being successful. They are pushing for that lifestyle or whatever they deem to be successful in their career, their whether it's finance or freedom, or there's a lot of different reasons why people start a business. Their health is sacrificed all along the way. And next thing you know, they go to the doctor, the doctor gives them bad news, wants to get them on medicine, or they just don't fit in any of their clothes. I remember the one guy down in Miami who's a C-level suite manager of a hospital. We ended up losing so much weight. He had to get his multiple four-figure suits tailored not once, but twice
Yeah.
because he had lost so
Well,
much weight.
a good problem to have, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, "Oh, I gotta go take it in, and this is kind of expensive, but it's worth it." And that's what it became, not optional in what it was, and talking to people more than just, "Hey, what do you eat?" or what exercise you do, but more about someone's identity, what they think, their underlying reason why that they wanted to start to take care of themselves in the first place.
Yeah, well, I feel you've already borderlined on the next question because you say health is a leadership move. Do you want
Yeah.
to unpack that for us?
Yeah, definitely. What happens when you walk into a room?
Yeah.
Anyone that's in there is sizing you up, right? It's just human nature. We're looking to see what's going on. You got the 10-second up and down and basically 60-second understanding of, is this person of value or not, a threat or not, or some type of an asset to my network or not. And if you're walking in and you're not, if you woke up today and you just didn't want to look in the mirror at yourself and not really excited about the clothes you're wearing and things just didn't fit, you're gonna walk in subconsciously carrying that weight, that mental emotional weight, that lack of that the subtle confidence that's just not there. Even a sense of, I'm standing here, but if I just do this, I've got just a little bit more confidence, energy. I take up more space, and then someone can deem me in my physical stance as being more confident, which then will create some back and forth energy if that person was looking to engage with that. So that I would say that would be totally from just a physical look and feel, but then the mental emotional. And if you just again don't like the way you look or can't see your toes because your belly's in the way, or bending over and your pants are just getting really tight, or
Yeah.
it's just, you can't be at your best. It's
Yeah. Well,
subconsciously
yeah.
there,
Well, being yeah, before you even open your mouth, that's yeah, the you're leading with that presence. That's
right?
what's the most common lie these busy professionals believe about their health when they come to you?
I think it's relates to some of the hustle culture that
Yeah,
entrepreneurs get themselves into, right? They just go, 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 right? I even
can
fall
relate.
into
Yes.
that sometimes
Yeah.
myself. I have 4 kids, married, 4 kids, and life is busy and work-life balance. And next thing you know, I'm staying up late or whatnot. And they want to think they can out hustle some of their bad health, and that just further perpetuates the situation that they're in, and they don't actually get away. We were talking about the 75 hard just before
Yeah.
we recorded. That could be deemed as a high achiever. You got to do this very strict routine, whatnot. And ultimately, if you skip one day, you start over at zero and have to do it all. And they have this list of criteria that you need to do and work through. And that doesn't have to be the way. Oftentimes, my main job is to simplify what they're already doing, make it easy and accessible so they can actually do it, and keep them out of their own way. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop. Do this thing here. Stop doing the other thing. Do this. And then next thing you know, they're down weight. They feel better. They're naturally more likely to pick healthier, better choices that align with their energy, productivity, clarity, focus, all those things that we always hear as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, how do people shift from that pressure to clarity when it comes to getting that consistency in line? It's
Well, number one is going to be awareness. If you're not paying attention, that you were a 34, you now you've somehow are getting ready to be a 40, and you just have totally blanked that out because life has been going full tilt and business and all the things, then you're gonna be stuck in that cycle that keeps there. So we have to find some level of awareness, and then we have to dig
yeah,
into the why and attaching the identity of who this person is or want to become, to then anchor in the mental reframes, the energy shifts, the insights that someone needs to then shift them away. And oftentimes you've helped a lot of people in your world, and or even listen to a couple of your other podcasts. If you could get this person to slow down and stop and think about what's critical for them, then they naturally start making better choices because they realize what's going on. And again, my job is to simplify, not add more into their already busy life.
yeah,
So awareness, would be, I think, the first thing.
No, definitely. Well, time definitely flies by. You just don't know where you're gonna. 10 years just shoots, and you think, oh, gee, I used to be in really good shape, but
Uh-huh.
then it's just done. Because I know that in my late 30s I reflect of my 20s that I was in good shape, but then you go to do something, and then it's more difficult than you remember it being.
Right, right. And I take care of myself really well, and exercise and movement are very prominent in my life. But my oldest is now driving, and he's 15 and a half, Levi, and then Everett's 14, and they've taken me out on a run and left me in the dust. So like, oh no. I ran the Boston Marathon. I ran under a 3-hour marathon. And the last 10 years I've been focused on business. I've been focused on, most importantly, family and growing a young family. So we have a 15, 14, 12, 10, 3 boys and a girl. So I'm really engaged as an active father as well, because that's really important, and an active husband, because if I don't do those things well, forget everything else. You could be the richest man in the world. Like I think Bezos lost half his share when he parted ways with his
Yeah,
wife and stuff. So yeah, you
yeah,
need to take care of those things most importantly to then be able to take care of yourself. So
yeah. Well, it's all on the list. Gotta always make sure you take care of all the areas, and that's really what you
mhm.
ultimately help with. And what's the biggest trap you see high achievers sort of fall into when it comes into the fitness or nutrition?
I think it piggybacks on some of the things that we are talking about,
Yeah,
is the all or nothing type mentality,
yeah,
where that's how they were successful in business, is just working 16, 18-hour days in and ascending through either the ascension of the ladder of the career path, the corporate path, or going into entrepreneurship and just burning the candle at both ends. I think that ends up being the general tone
yeah,
of what they think they need to do for their health as well.
yeah.
And oftentimes it can be as simple as drinking more water and moving your body more, taking a couple small frequent breaks to go for a 10, 15-minute walk in the day to move more. And all of a sudden, the body does what it's supposed to do, and you start to feel better.
I feel like there's
Uh,
a there's also an overwhelming of information out there now,
oh,
and
yeah.
if they don't have that's really uh, uh, bringing it down to going to a specialist like yourself, that they because people just jump from diet to diet to diet, and I feel
Yes.
like that's something that yeah, because you can't go if you are thinking about making a change. As soon as you jump on social media, you scroll, 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 and it's diet,
Yeah. Good
diet.
luck.
Yeah, have this pill, have
Squirrel.
this drop. Yeah,
Yeah, there is a lot of information, a lot of distraction, and maybe we can focus on that for a moment. In so again, you've coached a lot of people and worked with them. You have to get them to think singularly, not to like, here's our path. This is what we're doing. This is what's going to work best for you because we've talked about it. I've thought about it. And I, being you, want your client to be the most successful that they can be. So then, it's a teamwork type situation, right? Teamwork makes the dream work, and their results are part of your results as well. And so you want to win in this game of life and business and all. And if we get a distraction here, a disruption here, or it took 2 extra days to do this simple task, now we've slowed down progress. And you again have to keep people out of their own way sometime, and either ask really good questions, create really good insights, get analogies to like saying things like KPIs for ROIs. Okay, what are the key performance indicators that produce the biggest return on your investment, which is your time? That's the biggest that we all have. And I think that's why you get into an ownership level around or in your career to be able to buy time back in a sense and do more of whatever it is that you want. We like to travel, and that's a main driver for what I do as far as getting people really good results so then I can hire more clients and go travel. We're going to go to Greece and Rome and Paris here in about a week.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that with the family.
And well, attention is a currency because where attention goes, the energy flows. So when you pinpoint
Yes.
that attention, that's the key. Is
Yeah, definitely.
it builds the wealth. But what is your go-to starting point for someone who's overwhelmed and underfueled? Where should they start?
Yeah. Well, usually I'll do an intake of the client or just anyone and just start asking some simple questions so I can gauge where they are at on the spectrum because I'm up here, right? And when you have worked in your career for so long, you've just risen up and you understand things obviously better. And so I'm just trying to see where are they at on the paradigm to then help move them to the next step. The James Clear Atomic Habits guy, right? 1% better. Oftentimes it's really basic things because that's what the fundamentals improve your quality of life anyways, and you would say that about anything. Even running this podcast is very
Yeah.
fundamental things that make it a great podcast, and like being prepared. Right, when we had our recorded conversation and it's like, wow, okay, we're both on the same page, we're prepared, we're ready to go, and we just show up and just like, well, we'll just have a casual conversation. I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
Well, I
So
always like the structure because they get the most value from you, the experts that
yes,
we get onto the show, and it's
yep. So
yeah,
we find that next point of reference. So the simple things that I find is there's only three things that we have to really work on about improving, say, physical body weight, energy. Number one is movement. So I can get you to walk more. I like a 10K steps. That's a big one to get going. And if you're not doing it, you can just get a watch. You can use your phone. It's just literally right there. If you're working, if you own the business, your probably phone doesn't go too far from you. It's usually always
yeah.
on you. So
I
you can
got 3
literally just
phones
look there.
now, so it's
Yeah, right. You're like, which one is ringing? I don't
that's
know.
it.
Um, so we have movement, and if we were to say do another layer deeper, then that would be some form of activity, strength training, or doing some sort of a recreational activity that we're doing 2 to maybe 3 times a week, something you enjoy so you can keep doing it. That's the basic of movement. Then we have food choice. We have to pick good, healthy food choices, right? We all know what those are: lean proteins, lots of vegetables, some fruit, a little bit of starch, and a little bit of fat. And when we put those in a balanced meal, then that actually gives us energy and gives us clarity and focus and productivity, and it gives us more time back into our everyday life. And then we go to that portion control piece of making sure you're just only eating as much as you need to get you to the next time you're going to eat again. And just that simple phrase or that simple thought allows you to stay in control of your calories, of your energy, of your blood sugar levels. Because oh, I got so busy in a work meeting and I didn't plan anything out. And next thing you know, it's 3 hours after I should have eaten, and I still don't have anything, and I have to order, take a takeaway, and next thing you know, I'm eating my whole day's worth of calories in that one meal because I'm famished and I just didn't do some simple planning.
Yeah.
And I think that would be even more important is the PPA: plan, prepare, act. Very
Uh,
simple paradigm
that's
for
really
people to do.
also to stay onto this, it's where the mindset fits into the health. And, how do
Oh,
you
totally.
sort of, uh, coach someone out of the all or nothing trap from that? Because it's,
Yeah,
no doubt there's a strategy that you're implementing there.
right. I like this phrase that I use is middle gear mentality. So we have the all, we have the nothing. A lot of people think in that black and white, that on or off. And we have to start to see what is the biggest challenge to them breaking that down, or and then also what is the smallest challenge for that. And then we find out through actual real conversation and communicating and then engaging on what does this person need to do to be able to move them into the next frame of reference? John is a good example. He owns a marine sonar company, and he works on yachts and all this. And he was trying to, he was trying to do it on his own, and he thought he knew what he was doing, and he just blatantly didn't. He'd go to the gym, work out for a half hour, ended up getting unmotivated and leaving. And then as soon as we gave him some systems and processes to help to structure the hierarchy of food, of exercise, of getting to the right mindset of shifting. He's a grandfather, and I actually still work with him. We've been working together for about 2 years. Guy's lost 50 plus pounds at age 62,
Yeah.
and he it's just a radically different person. He still tells me when he goes and sees people that haven't seen him, and they say, "Oh my gosh, what have you done?"
Yeah.
And then it comes to mind like, "Oh, are you on the shot like a Zempic or something, or are you just fasting, or you're not eating carbs or something?" And the guy eats somewhere between 200, 300, 350 carbs some days. He's 62. He's eating about 2,500 calories, 2,400 calories on average. He's maintaining his body weight around 180, and he's more fit than he's been in the last 20 years. He's got energy. His wife doesn't even know what to do with.
Yeah.
He comes home from work and he actually does things around the house and participates. And whereas before he'd come home and try and take a nap. It's a
Massive
wild,
shift. You
different
probably
shift.
extended his life by years.
Oh,
Then
oh
as well.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So the wife has
at the
to.
very least, his
Yeah.
quality of life has gone through the roof. We can all theorize on how much more life he could be living or years he got back from that, but the quality of life was what we are all experiencing right now is the present time of where we're at is just you and I right now, and we're in our present bodies and our present energies. And we obviously hope I'm 42. I hope that I live, at least let's double that, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to that. I'm not so ready to go here in the next 10 years or something.
Yeah.
But the quality of life because he's taking care of himself is significantly better.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's the biggest value. Well, health is the greatest wealth, as they say.
Totally.
So you also talk about getting results without burnout. How do you sort of balance that intensity and sustainability? Because I guess that does come back to the all or nothing, where
Yeah.
because people, yeah, they've got to sacrifice something to shift around, sacrifice something bad. I guess it's that sustainability without because yeah, it does come down to the mindset. But I'll let you.
Yeah. Yeah. A simple phrase I like to say is what we do in 2 weeks, we do in 2 months, we do in 2 years. So we're looking at a whole systematic change around the way you think, the way you view things, your awareness around what's happening in your body, out of your body, becoming more aware of patterns of behaviors from yourself, from other people. John has gotten significantly healthier. People relate to him different now. Or from the last time that they even saw him, they relate different to him. And John and I have active conversations about how he thinks and feels about that, or how other people think and feel. Oh, John, you can take it easy because you've already lost 40 pounds. Or, just that ends up being the thing. Or just have one bite. And those things start to show up in your world. And then you have to double down in your mindset because all of a sudden humans are natural to cruise. We're looking for the easiest way out. And with anyone I ever work with, I'm also looking for the easiest way out of what their health situation is. And also, it's an agreement. This is a negotiation. This is a conversation that we're actively having to help them be able to take a step forward toward a better health rather than just being told by this protocol, this regime, or their coach about this is what you absolutely have to do. Sure, you could eat chicken, broccoli, and rice and repeat, but at some point, if that's not something you can do in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, we need to find a different way to begin
Yeah,
this whole
definitely.
process so that you can be successful
But
sustainably and consistent.
what I hear from that, Brian, is that you're not just giving them the plan, you're actually reprogramming their pathways and making them
Yes.
realize the neuron pathways is what that's the benefit of getting a health coach. Really,
Right.
it's not just about this. Here's the food you should eat. Here's the routine you should have. It's actually that evidence that you're clocking up in the mind to create that stability.
Yeah,
Is
definitely.
what I can see. So tell us about the call to rise, Brian. Tell us what kind of people do you work with? What do they
Yeah.
walk away with? Who's out there that's the ideal client?
Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time, right? I've literally talked to people specifically for the last 12 years on the phone, all areas of the US and beyond. I've worked with Olympians. I've created a CrossFit World Champion. I've worked with people with cancer, digestion issues, just need to lose 5 pounds, need to lose 100 pounds. So young, old, healthy, know a lot about this stuff, don't. And one of the consistent things that I see myself, especially in this phase of life, I'm 42. My oldest is now a young man and getting ready to go out into the world. And I need to equip this gentleman and all three of my sons and my daughter to be confident, independent people that can take care of themselves and add value to the world. And it goes back to if what you see in the mirror isn't what it is that you want to look or feel like, you can change it. And that's what the call to rise really is. It's a vehicle for that starts with physical transformation, but then brings in some of these other components of being a great husband, a father, and most importantly, someone that identifies with feeling that confidence so you can go do bigger, better things. So the call to rise is ultimately it's a 100-day challenge, and then to get to you to lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in that 100 days. There's weekly challenges. There's a lots of structure around nutrition, around exercise, around mindset piece. We have quarterly assignments, something as even as cool as you take your partner, your spouse out for a date night, top to bottom. You need to woo and wow them, not just take them to dinner and a movie and be a schlub, a typical night. We need to do something that's fun, engaging, so that not only are you transforming your body, but you're transforming your relationships, the people around you. If I can drop a pebble in your pond, it is absolutely needs to ripple into those around you. And that's a type of impact that I want to have with the people I work with, because at this point in my life, I've helped people lose thousands of pounds and eat healthier and all that. And I just want more. And the results and the transformations that mean the most to me are when people actually have a transformative experience where it's not just we hit a single or a double or a triple, but we hit a home run. Or even Drake is a grand slam example. This guy, 270, he had screaming high blood pressure, so much so the doctor's like, we're immediately going to put you on medicine. He said, no, 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 let me do this on my own. And so we ended up talking. And the guy is about 180 pounds now, but he had this 250K job, crazy amount of high stress. It was in Nashville, Tennessee. He was an architect, and he had, I don't know, over $1 billion worth of assets that he had to manage in this job that he had gotten into. And he just the environment and the all of that was so weighing on him that it caused him to be 270 pounds and about a walking heart attack. And this guy, within a couple weeks, he sold his Mustang GT, Shelby GT, to get a F-150 because he said, Brian, I'm a truck guy. Why am I driving around in this this Mustang? Like, well, it's fun and all, but
Yeah.
it's not you. Like, let's get back to who Drake is, what he does, why he is, and all these things. And it just was this transformative experience that went far beyond just losing weight. And that was the initial starting point, but we were able to continue to roll that as he gained confidence, energy, clarity, focus. He quit his job and started doing other things that gave him more life, more energy, more drive, more excitement. And I actually talked with him. So this was over a course of 2 to 3 years from our original meeting point to I actually have a YouTube video of us talking. You can find it, Drake and I talking, but we talked a couple weeks ago. He called me up out of the blue and told me, Brian, I got married. And this was, he just had one relationship after another that just didn't ultimately go there to that level of commitment and all. And it was just really just like, dude, I'm so happy for you. He
Yeah,
he just
so,
called me out of the blue to tell me where he was at in his life. And
it just
and
really
that's the type of experience and relationships and things that I have to rise up into. I'm not just a health coach. Like I'm a transformation maker in a sense
well,
to help.
everything's connected essentially because
Yes. Oh, so
it,
is.
people
So is.
people don't just gain weight and be unhealthy. It's
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely such a deeper emotional thing, and that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very much a coverall. So any of the
Yeah.
listeners out
The
there that
body, yeah, the body is just a reflection of what's happening in other areas of your life,
yeah.
unfortunately. So, and you don't have to be shredded. Where I'm not trying to get anyone jacked and six pack, and if you need to be a man and get paid and get laid and all these things. No, 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 no. I want you to feel comfortable, confident, have energy, be excited about what the day holds, optimistic, care about the relationships of the people that are around you, and really want to strive to be better. And if you have those qualities about you, then let's go. Let's get some weight off. Let's get some better nutrition. Let's get some more accountability and support because ultimately that's what people need. They don't need more information. They need simple direction that works best for them to get them to their end goal and destination.
Well, the call to rise is really the call to rise to be the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and find what truly sets you alive. Where can people learn more and take this next step, Ryan? What's the
Yeah, well, thecalltorise.com. The social handle is the call to rise. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all those things. And
We'll make sure that
it's
we put all the
that's the
links
easiest way.
into the description, and of
Yep.
course we're heading towards the end of the interview now, but we've got to do our signature question because
Yes.
uh, if it, Brian, if attention is the currency, what should people stop spending it on, and what should they start investing it in?
Yeah. I definitely gonna go with the distractions. You have to cut out the distractions. There's so there's so many ways to lose weight. There's so many ways to get in healthier shape. You have to pick one and be consistent with it one day after another for the rest of your life. You have to find a way that you can live in your day to day, enjoy the food you eat, enjoy the movement, enjoy the social activities, the work travel meetings and the food and the sleep and all these things. We have to find the way that works for say Daniel or for Brian and stop getting distracted going from one thing to another. And you just being a business owner and myself too, every time you get excited about this say business venture and then you get to the point of where it's like, oh, this is kind of hard and I actually have to work, and then you fall off, you stop doing the thing, and then you start over again, right? And then you next thing you know, time flies, and it's been 10 years and you've had six different businesses but you never done any one of them because you just haven't been able to consistently work at getting better and refining and improving your skill set and all that. So it would be to stop being distracted and be consistent.
No, perfect. No, that's a perfect message. And a great way to finish off the episodes. And I know that everyone would have got a lot of value out of that. And Brian's definitely worth connecting with uh, to take that next step. So, Brian, thank you for cutting through the fluff and giving people something that they can actually use. If you're watching or listening and your energy feels stuck, your clarity's gone fuzzy, or you just want to stop making your health the last priority, this is your call out. Follow Brian at Call to Rise. Head to thecalltorise.com, and this be the moment you lead from vitality not just output, because attention is the currency, and how you fuel it is how you rise. Thank you again, Brian, and we'll see you all in the next episode.
No, thank you.